These are our supplemental materials on Chapter 43 about the digestive system. We'd like to start out by making some retracting statements. In our video, we stated that absorption in the small intestine is caused by bacteria. And while bacteria plays a role in helping us digest food, the way we actually absorb our nutrients is through these pickle-shaped objects, which are called microvilli, that line the apical side of the small intestine. This helps create a high surface area to volume ratio, which makes absorption more efficient. We also would like to clarify the role of lipids. Lipids are broken down into glucose, which we can convert into energy. Now we have the role of gut bacteria in homeostasis. Gut bacteria in the small intestine plays a role in helping digestion. These bacteria can help digest resistant starches found in foods like grains, seeds, legumes, and potatoes. This helps us get more nutrients and energy out of our food. The long starch chains are digested by the bacteria, which breaks it down into shorter fatty acids, including butyrate. This will in turn lower cholesterol levels. Butyrate also reduces inflammation in the colon cells, which has research suggesting that this helps prevent colon cancer, the fourth most deadly cancer in the world. Resistant starches are very effective at lowering blood sugar by increasing insulin metabolism. We discussed this relationship in the other video, specifically as a cause of type 2 diabetes. A common misconception about the appendix is that it's a vestigial organ, meaning that it has no purpose, or rather, humans have evolved in such a way that this organ has lost all or most of its function. However, research shows that the appendix has two distinct purposes. As a fetus, the appendix produces endocrine cells, which then in turn produce biogenic amine and peptide hormones. Biogenic amine is a substance with modified amino acids. Neurotransmitters such as dopamine and serotonin fall under this category. And peptide hormones are hormones whose molecules are proteins. These two substances play vital roles in maintaining various homeostatic mechanisms. Even though we tried to conduct research on what homeostatic mechanisms these substances help with, we couldn't find any specific information. As an adult, the purpose of the appendix shifts and begins to play a role in the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is a vital part of the immune system. The appendix serves as a lymphoid organ as it produces B lymphocytes and immunoglobulin A antibodies. B lymphocytes are a variety of white blood cells that defend against bacteria and viruses, and immunoglobulin A are antibodies that protect mucous membranes. However, problems in the appendix can be painful and sometimes fatal. If blockage happens either by a stool, a mislocated piece of food, or tumor, an infection can develop which leads to appendicitis or inflammation of the appendix. In rare instances, the body can resolve this infection, but the most common treatise for appendicitis involves a course of antibiotics and surgery. On a different note, we have the goblin shark. Not a lot is known about the goblin shark just because it lives at the very bottom of the ocean, but it does have some very noteworthy features. The first of which is its abnormally large liver. So the liver of the goblin shark stores all this excess oil, which keeps the goblin shark alive in between feedings. Also, because the goblin shark is so slow, it needs mechanisms to catch its prey or sneak up on its prey. And the liver serves to give the goblin shark a natural buoyancy, allowing it to kind of float along the bottom of the ocean instead of swim. Another way that it does this is its handy-dandy jaws. So let's say we have a nice fishy here swimming along, and despite the stealthiness of the goblin shark, the fishy notices the goblin shark. But fishy isn't worried because the goblin shark is so slow, and there's a lot of distance here, so yeah, fishy isn't worried. Little does fishy know that the goblin shark has this weird joint here, which allows it to basically shoot out its jaws the same way we would shoot out our tongue. So it can capture the fish in that way. And this slingshot feeding, which is what that's called, can actually shoot the jaw up to 3.1 meters per second and cover a distance of about 9% of their body length. So then it would take the fishy back into its mouth, or into its face, I guess, where it would chew, and then it would enter the stomach. So, as you can see here, the stomach has a pretty strange structure. It's kind of like a U shape. And not a lot is known about that, but we do know that it has a lot of very, very strong acids and enzymes that will break apart all of this fishy here into like a mush. And it's really important that this mush is really, really small, has very small pieces, because there's a valve here at the start of the intestine called the pyloric valve, which will only let through very, very small pieces. Anything like fish bones or other undigestible elements would get vomited back up. So, yay!